The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
It's been almost a month since Carson-Newman last hit the hardwood. Here with Mike Mincey, I'm Michael Watching for the Eagles Sports Network. Lady Eagles slated to play 4 games over the next week. And, Coach, with everything that's happened with COVID, it has really put you guys in a bind because for the first, 2 months of the season, quote-unquote, the way that other teams have been able to get through a couple months, you guys had just 3 games. Well, now you're looking at it in potentially 17 games in the next 7 weeks, and obviously with how everything's gone, odds are that probably doesn't happen. But where you're at right now, what has it been like over the last few weeks dealing with quarantine, contact tracing, all that other stuff as you try to prepare for competition again?
To answer the question, honestly, it's been quite frustrating on our end because, we've been dinged twice with positives, and luckily those were all asymptomatic for our kids. And other teams in our conference have been a lot more fortunate to where they haven't missed a beat. And it's very difficult. I've watched some of the teams that have missed a beat. They've missed practice or missed games, and there's just rust there. Teams don't play as fluid as what you would hope to if you were getting those practices every day and games and getting into. And I felt like in the first semester we were getting there after the Liberty game. I felt really good about our opportunity to go and play at North Georgia, but then when we got hit with the positive, it took out all but 7, and practice was very difficult because you couldn't go 5-on-5. So it's been quite a while now since we've been able to actually have a practice to where we could scrimmage against each other, and that's how basketball is. So it's been challenging. I've been in the game for a while now and been coaching for a while, and I've never had to deal with anything like this. So it's been very difficult just to try to go into practice every single day knowing, hey, we don't play a game for, a couple of weeks out now. But hopefully this weekend, if all holds true, we'll be able to start playing again. Let's
dissect what you're kind of talking about there, the mental aspect of it. It certainly weighs on pretty much everybody, regardless if you're a player, a trainer, a broadcaster, a coach. It weighs on you. Are we going to play? Is it going to happen? And as you go through those motions, I'm sure it's been tough for your team to provide that same intensity. What are you trying to do as a coach to make sure that they can lock in once games do restart?
The good thing is thus far out of our 20-game conference schedule, even though we've had to postpone some, we've been able to reschedule them. So at this point, we only have 1 game that we need to get rescheduled. And so from that standpoint, you can say, hey, I know we've missed these games, and it's kind of put the season on hold for a little bit. But starting this weekend, we've got a lot of games. We have at least 3 weeks where we're going to be playing 4 games in 1 week. And we feel like we've already been hit enough, but we got to worry about the other team or the other teams that we're going to be playing, going to get a positive. And that's always something that you got to worry about. But, we're just trying to, it is what it is. Let's try to keep an upbeat attitude about it, starting with me on down. And we've tried to do our best, and we've gotten this far. We're 3 days out now from potentially getting to tee it up again. Last time we played, December 13th, so it's been a while, and I know the kids are excited.
Well, last month it felt like, as you mentioned, you guys were starting to get into a groove, get into a flow, learn about who you are. Has it been tough for you to try to reconfigure that identity of this team as you get ready for this week?
A little bit, yeah. I felt like we were kind of learning who we were and where we could go in certain situations. The 3 games that we had, conference games, not the Liberty game, but the conference games we had. There were some things in the fourth quarter that as each game went on, I felt like we improved upon, and we were starting to get a rotation, and our conditioning was kind of there, and then that kind of got ripped from us again before we were going to go play North Georgia. So, trying to keep the 7 in shape, and then for the last several days, we've had 3 of them in mask, and they've had to social distance, and you still couldn't play 5-on-5. So starting today, we get to go 5-on-5. We'll get 3 days of that, and then, go back and start playing on Saturday. But again, it's Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So they know that the practices are coming. We're not going to be practicing a lot. Assuming we get to play, there's not going to be a lot of more practices moving forward all the way through the end of February. It's going to be a lot of games, film, and rest and recovery.
A lot of times it is very cliche to talk about it's all about you as a team. You're not worried about what the opponent does. I feel like it's actually true, though, this year. Aren't you guys at this point not necessarily focusing as much on the scattering reports of other teams because there's such small sample sizes, as you mentioned, rust comes into it sometimes, that you guys really are focusing on yourselves?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. You're not going to have a lot of time in between games. We might go into a game where we played on Monday and the team that we're playing on Wednesday has had a lot more time to but that's just how it falls this year. You know, we wanted to get those games in. We've tried to schedule them all. You know, we're getting to the point where if we start missing any more, we're going to miss out on some games. We're not going to have any room to schedule them. But yeah, you just got to, the mental aspect of it, hey, we get to play, let's go play. Scouts are going to be short and sweet. I mean, there's just no way that in a day period, I guess it prepares you for tournament time to where you got to turn around the next day and get ready to play opponents. So it's weird, but we're going to make the best of it for sure.
Coach, thanks for the time. Knock on wood, and best of luck this week.
All right, thank you, Michael.
He's Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watchering here for the Eagles Sports Network.